you want some. But I feel like we've tortured the guys enough and realize. I feel like some it's insane over military island playing. No, but to Sanhok, what is lovely? The main path can wait. You can still reach any nation that you want. So if you want to go to Paradise, boot camp, all the stuff, all shrimp. Yeah. All things shrimp. Although, where the adaptations come in here.
I actually want to see what we're gonna more. Two of the two for
and this where you can say, okay, if nobody's go there, but if we can split or some compounds, because that means when they're looking back and they're trying to analyze, okay, what was open in the first game of Sanhok, they look at bootcamp open, but if somebody like turns around and they're basically theirs for the rest of it.
What's super important with okay now all over the teams
finance. Personally, I like Pine a little bit more than Bootcamp. Bootcamp, let's drop. I like Painan because you have the potential to easily get from one side of a river to another. Yeah, accessibility over what I would consider 3/4 of the map. Is that fair?
Painan is fantastic. You can go to both. Obviously, split. So if it basically second team to kind of we have when you go to north, because that's the team blue, and they will obviously try to they have really easy access.
And yet, I'm cutting us. We're gonna get a mountain in the west.
Oh no!
All right, probably not. Let's head over to the commentary. We have Imperial.
Mouse, thank you very much.
OAP, AFF. For gank. Talk about setting themselves up for a world tour. Now, just to add one tiny caveat, the Sanhok game that we had, that one Sanhok game they played in a weekend, they won it. So, can it happen in this final weekend?
Yes, Sanhok game by a drop. Stonker teams taking big stonker wins on big stonker maps known as Sanhok, but here we go. Boys and girls, it's going to be Sanhok time. We're going to be going straight into the jungle and see how things are going to be panning over on this one. Reject Scarlet going to be going for Cal for the fan box. You know, they like going a little bit out of their way to be alone, just like you do, and that's why we'll be going for the Eastern Control line.
Welcome to the jungle. We've got fun and we got everything you want. But do you know the name? And I think if we know the name is definitely you do gank leading the fourth game. But a phase one circle max, it occupies mainland, north, west island. It's actually, in my eyes, a very tricky phase one.
Very tricky. That's like the nicest circle. Almost.
Okay.
It's a very not too much water involved. And one thing well, actually, no, we're gonna fix around the fight right away. Stars versus Bigatron. As Ryzen taking already a little bit of damage for himself. Microboy gonna be the first line of defense. Gets the initial knockdown onto Onkar. Won't be able to find the flash just yet as he crawls his way out of the door. But Microboy at this point being he's going for the push. That's so aggressive, but yeah, it pays off. He gets 2 knockdown solo.
Oh my God, Ryzen just rising up in the early parts of this Sanhok game to get 2 knockdowns. Vexy's knockdown on core is confirmed, and now the AKA shots right by it. Doesn't really matter if he's low on health or not, he just doesn't really care. And now Luxy comes in with the UMP, whatever you call it, it's gotten the job for BTR. Megastars find themselves down to just 1 player within 2 minutes of this game.
Called it UMP. I'm like a proud dad right now. Miriam said UMP.
I'm learning, Dad. I'm learning, Dad.
It's good. Definitely, that was a really nice fight from Bigatron. Microboy, the fact that he also had no meds. He's like, he just had nothing. He knew he had to go for the aggressive play. He went for the aggressive push, and he just got a nice knockdown for himself. And then Luxy came over from the other side of the rope. That was tricky, but because he got knockdowns, Megastars had really no way to shut down the rotation coming out from Luxy, and then they got the initial knockdown after that.
So true. Now we see Dan, Kyler's favorite place to drop. makes it accessible. And for this kind of circle, Thailand is a very accessible place to drop. But of course, with two teams fighting out in that area, it's not going to be accessible until you wipe out the opposing team. Synergy and RRQ getting close to each other. They're pretty much both on the same side of Painan. You do have one member of RRQ on the Painan, which could provide an extra level of cover for RRQ and the rest of the teammates.
I was to talk with one of the big boys at Synergy, and they were saying that they were feeling really confident going into today. Didn't really show off in the first 3 games, just a little bit like TSM Entity. And so hopefully they'll be able to get some good results in the next 2 games, and also in the next 2 days coming out tomorrow and also on Sunday. But Austin, Box and Servius locked in place. No way for them to move away because the high ground is held by G9, and you know he's not going to allow anyone to rotate away from this. And also, Synergy, have they looted up any smokes, any utility to move away from that location? Because they have taken a fight so early on, they might have not had enough to loot.
Now, like I said, kind of this phase on Circle is very tricky because it occupies the 3 areas of Sandhawk, right? So when you're looking at positioning, T1 and Boo you take each other out. I don't care. We'll come in third party, and that's really great, accurate, clever play coming out from Synergy. Why join in on a fight when you technically don't need to?
Exactly. Like phase 1, you know that if you can avoid it, that would be the better course of action. Bear gets the nice angle as the AK connects the kill. That 33 going over to RRQ Athena, and he's still remaining as a full squad. Like they were sandwiched up, already had one member knocked away, getting fully pushed by TSM Entity, and yet they completely unharmed.
When you're looking at TSM and how they went in on that engagement, it was a great initial knock on the G9, but what lost it for me was that the fact that they kind of went in with very minimalistic information, so they got caught out and they got surprised.
Now Jonathan, he's just going to take his time, stay behind that wall, behind the bridge. And I think that they are definitely regretting their decision to go over here, so maybe it might not be on the other Sandhawk games for them. But, well, Austin going for a little bit of a peek on the top of the roof there. Could be looking for a few nice shots, but will not be able to get anything done right now. As we're going to be focusing a little bit more on what's happening in the circle right now. A few teams, and especially one team in particular that I like their rotation, that's Valdez. You talked about it, right? T1 in boot camp, they got a nice central position. Yep. Valdez, they understood the value of that position, so they're going to try and potentially claim the higher northern position of boot camp.
It's a really great position because should the circle shift on over to west, they can at least maybe capture a couple of teams out over there. And if it shifts on over the same situation, 4-man information compared to T1. Okay, then now T1D, they're high. That's where side around. They know and love are down, but in being BTR and Team IND.
His heart must be beating right now. do an insane play. Full clutch would definitely do the trick. G9 here, both in the same position. They a little bit further away as we have a little bit of a replay popping up on our screen. It was a push off TSM, so they had a really good backstab from no pushed out of the building. That's already caused downfall.
Like, bring in, but when you have there is that risk and pay price. But now RQ will be the fact that there is still one member of TSM around there. The pre-fire shots are coming through. No, but Bear comes through for Jonathan as he tries. Jump shot is out. Confirms and wipes.
Performances they've been looking for. They'll be able to get a little better result into this, but I'm going to be kicking on forward. Essentially, they want to get involved. And they might try and get themselves involved on RQ Athena, but they took like too much on the board.
I do think a party, whereas I feel like they should disengage. But now, because no chance team are actually coming from the hill up above, they take third party.
Calaris, this man always calls circle shifts coming out. You know what? Looking at us like he's got finish over here happening. If it shift once again north over the western side, it's evil.
Your heroes Hilaris from the first time we were in Kiev, and I was like, okay, that guy's cool. I was like, really looking forward to him, but like, oh my god, he's a monster. Either way,
I was simping for him right there.
I was simping for a little bit, but then, you know, it's kind of anti-simping. But anyway, this on No Chance team will have to move up north because the circle shift did go up north and time to actually go onto that triangle position on the southwest island.
One team that might be able to actually first. They're very close. They're slowly trying to put their eggs in different baskets. They got already one player on the top of the mountain just in case it does go for that hard shift up north. But now teams are next to the river on the eastern side.
Yep.
If they go over to the west, all the teams going to have to cross on over. The teams that already did that cross early on, they're going to be controlling the entire mid to late game stage. So the fact that already Orange Rock and also Team ID got those valuable positions under control can only spell good things for the late stage if we do have that hard shift.
Now, you were talking about Valdez's position. They've gone a little bit down south toward the edge of the coastal line. Another team are in a strong position, but will have to be very, very aware of where they are, is Team Secret, because they have the high ground overlooking Boot Camp and even Painan. But because it is kind of high ground and it is a little bit out in the open, you're going to have King of Gamers, Box Gaming coming dinners in a row. So something they're aware of. Sandhawk is always about protecting your area so effectively because it's a smart map.
A little bit earlier, right? They don't want to take the fight with you anymore. It's not worth it at the end of the day. Yeah. And also seeing how the thing will be unfolding, the circle is going to be down south of out of is fine. It's still phase 2. Can try a nice entry into the circle. The team's going for rotation and crossing over. It was actually Bigotron saying their scout first. That was get that control, and they will now.
And talk about it. It's Orange Rock doing something similar. Only gamers up right, killing zero down below towards the compound on the coastline. So, in my eyes, actually, a BTR very heavy right now.
I mean, it really depends once again on circle, right? Coming into this, the circle could be a deciding factor into this. There we go. Going to look at all of the 95 total point unit gang of the leaderboard right there. Jeez.
Like no. Winning their Sandhawk game in the opening weekend. Their total in the opening weekend was 99 points. So they're 4 points away from their total opening week. Dominating they've been in these first games, and even like have more kill points the first 3 games than basically some teams haven't told. It's crazy, but either way, next circle is going to be showing up. Where is it going to go? It shifts down towards the southwest island, but still a little tip of each other area in play.
I know that Cross River section right now that we were mentioning a little bit earlier in the game. Yeah. Like all of Team IND, they can easily do that rotation down. Also, Synergy, the fact that they went for that rotation thinking, okay, the west of the circle is currently open for the taking. They can easily get himself not in range. Don't go in range. That is not a good idea. But around that would be a good position. So I think that here, a few teams did set themselves up for success in this late stage.
Team Seeker have also done a great job of kind of rotating to the compound that is by the bridge of that triangle tip compound. That could prove to be very, very effective, as Valdez have actually gone into the wall. Actually, no, just very coastal line of the mainland island overlooking the North Island and Boot Camp, as Orange Rock is shifting their way. Doubt that 2-2 split did somewhat pay off, because now they can join up as a full squad, go down the hill, go down the mainland, but they do have BTR to the right of them, and they have Team IND to the south of them.
Yeah, they do want to take a fight. They got to wait for their 2 other members of Mark.
Win the war.
I think it's definitely edge, right? And is you want to go most as possible into these kind of circles on top, but now we're going to be having a little bit of an engagement happening with all these squads. Box game, Synergy, circle is really what's going to be the deciding factor on this. Going over, harsh over to the east is very, very slim. But to see 3, 2, 1, it goes actually up north directly, and that's going to be great for Orange Rock, for also Team IND. They went for that location so early on, really reading the circle, and it's songs for them.
If I'm not mistaken, Mavi is the only player left standing for Orange Rock. We didn't see on the broadcast exactly what happened. Box members of you gang. It's not necessarily third party, but it's Sandhawk gaming. Good job them as of ruins right sitting to the side of RQ.
That's why you also don't see people use bikes and cars, right? They never there's going to be some enemies, and if there's one sneaking around, well, your entire team will die eventually. Now, but you have to move away from the location. They got to go harsh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams down. A lot of action's going to be unfolding, and they all got to cross on them.
1, 2, 4. I declare a PUBG Mobile war in Sandhawk as God returned a clap back as 2 members of for the revive on the off-tails. And don't forget, like you mentioned, all these teams around the side are the circle, so the rotations are going to come through. You're going to see third partying, fourth partying
behind No Chance team, and No Chance they got the higher ground, but chance. Break coming on B11, but still going to be a little bit of that tick damage. When it goes to phase, that's when you want to try and get yourself in circle as swiftly and possible. Because right now they go for the long game, but behind them. How did you not see Bear right there? But there you go. You do gang the team that took 3 chicken dinners in a row. That'll be not a 4th, unfortunately.
You know what? Nobody's perfect. They couldn't complete the World Tour. God, 50% of war. Circle because people are
teams are thirsty for this game, but unfortunately to involve Valdez.
शब्द तेरे इस इलाके में तुम चाहती हो वहां पर बहुत हो गया। ये लुटेरों का गाना गा रही थी। बहुत बुरा शगुन होता है ऐसे कोहरे में शापित लुटेरों का गाना होगा। हाँ हम समझ गए। करो जी लेफ्टिनेंट। जहाज पर एक औरत का होना भी बुरा शगुन है, फिर चाहे वो छोटी ही क्यों ना हो।
मुझे लगता है समुद्री लुटेरों से मिलना तो बहुत मजेदार होगा।
वो बहुत ही खतरनाक
inbound has Team Secret just trying to hold on. They're going to go inside the water. Valdez continuing on as 3-man team. Box Gaming are going to be chunked.
लेफ्टिनेंट नैरिंगटन, मैं आपके ख्यालों की कदर करता हूं, पर बातों का पर बुरा असर।
मैं माफी चाहता हूं गोविंदर स्वामी।
मुझे तो ये बातें बहुत दिलचस्प लगती हैं।
हाँ, बात की तो मुझे फिक्र है।
Proning down along with Urala. Gonna go on the side of the building. Kratos, Trans, and Slayer still inside.
Kratos was solo right there. He was able to just slowly and sneakily make his way. And utility will be coming out in response of Team ID, but they gotta go. The careful entrance is going to be on the other side of that building. And things could get a little bit more sweaty for this team. But Reject Scarlet, they know they're not going to get too overconfident. If I were there, would not actually take the
पिताजी, देखिए वहाँ एक लड़का है पानी में।
And both teams are inside the circle.
बच्चे को बचाओ!
Southeast, and they're going to
जल्दी! उसे ऊपर खींचो!
Scarlet, that's going to be John done. They're all 5 kills. They're in the top 6. Team ID, they were saying to me that Trans is back up to
अभी सांस बाप रे बाप, मुझे तो यकीन ही नहीं होता।
वहाँ क्या
बारूद होगा जो फट गया। ये बारूद भी उन्हें ना बचा सका। ये जरूर उन लुटेरों का काम है। सब लुटेरे।
कोई सबूत नहीं है। शायद ये कोई हादसा रहा होगा।
कैप्टन को जगाओ। जल्दी से जहाज को मोड़ो और सारी कश्तियां पानी में उतार दो।
एलिजाबेथ, तुम जाकर लड़के के पास बैठो। अब ये तुम्हारी जिम्मेदारी है। तुम इसका ख्याल रखना।
The intention really you want 2 teams to take a fight, and when that fight ends, when it's already really well committed to, you want to go for the third party and try and attack these teams when they're heavily hurt. And even though it looks like Team IND there's a tiny little bit downhill dip, they are using their advantage. But of course, if you go a pixel out of place and you get spotted, be very, very careful. And that's exactly what has happened to Slayer. He gets dropped to the floor, he gets confirmed, Kratos looks up, he's gonna get a knockdown, but that's gonna be
इसका नाम विल टर्नर है, बस इतना ही बताया इसने।
इसे नीचे ले जाओ।
And Founders, they want this chicken dinner as a great grenade comes out towards Armcho, puts him extremely low, but will not result in a knockdown as the team of Team Secret. These are two teams that have an ongoing rivalry. The murder, or what was Illuminate the Murder team member, if they can claim this chicken dinner, if Team Secret can kick off their super weekend run with a victory over Valdez the Murder in this Sandhawk game. Yeah. Great angle right there, can peek it up, but the advantage of being able to peek left and right, whereas BB is going to be very straightforward. He can only peek. That could make things very easy for Armjo to get that knock for himself. It's turned into now a 3v3. The Res was able to come back indeed, but Team Secret, they're slowly pushing out the blue zone right behind them. And Armjo, if he seems that once again that one pixel out of place, they can get a few nice bit of dash down. Oh, but look at BB using and hugging this side of the cliffside. Gets a knockdown on the Harmony, but that's going to be a return. Clap back. The blue zone is pushing through. U-High comes in.
आ जाइए।
हाँ, कमाल है, मेरी बच्ची इतनी देर तक सोई रही। देखो तो कितना सुहाना दिन है। मैं तुम्हारे लिए एक तोहफा लाया।
ये कितना खूबसूरत है। क्या मैं इसकी वजह पूछ सकती हूँ?
अपनी बेटी को तोहफा देने के लिए क्या मुझे किसी वजह की वैसे मैं चाहता था कि ये तुम आप जश्न पर पहनो।
कौन सा जश्न?
कप्तान नॉरिंगटन की जश्न की तरक्की पे।
मैं जानती थी।
कमोडोर नॉरिंगटन ऊंचा ओहदा मिलने से वो बहुत ही तमीजदार और अच्छा लड़का है। वो तुम्हें पसंद करता है। एलिजाबेथ, कपड़े तो बराबर है ना?
कुछ कहना मुश्किल है।
ये लंदन में नया फैशन है।
वो लंदन की औरतें अपना सांस रोकने में माहिर होंगी।
हुजूर आपसे कोई मिलने आया है।
Yeah, and they dropped guys, and they actually went pretty early onto the first island, and they crossed just above boot camp, which is
I hate playing circus. I'm so
आपको देखकर खुशी हुई।
watch this and
शुक्रिया
just
सर।
sit. Oh my God, these guys are hating.
आपकी तलवार लाया हूँ।
But overall, Valdez actually played that picture perfect. They executed it perfectly. They were waiting at the right time to make sure that they had a mini guys
ब्लेड
alive.
स्टील की परतों से बना आखिर का काम है।
Executed it super well here towards the very late stages.
इजाजत हो तो
Take a look how many points have come in for all of our teams throughout our
बिल्कुल
Sandhawk
सही
game,
संतुलन।
as we have
हैंडल का
31
हिस्सा भी
points
ब्लेड
for
जितना
Valdez
चौड़ा
the
है।
Murder. This is going to be
Nice.
pushing them up into like a top 3 situation, I feel. Of this lobby. See Team Secret as well.
नॉरिंगटन के तोहफा पाकर बेहद
Getting into that last circle.
अक्सर कलाकार उसके काम की तारीफ पर बेहद खुश होता है।
एलिजाबेथ, तुम बहुत खूबसूरत लग रही हो।
तुम्हें देखकर कल रात ही मैंने तुम्हारे में ख्वाब देखा था।
मेरे बारे में?
एलिजाबेथ, तुम्हें ऐसी बात नहीं।
पहली बार मिले थे तुम्हें।
हमेशा की तरह।
Not everybody has
देखा
a
तुमने?
triple chicken
कम से कम इस
dinner.
नौजवान की समझ
Go for gas.
little pit stop, so you're
Pit
saying
stop.
that they're
आओ
gonna
बेटा।
come back for the next game, just gonna get another chicken.
फिर मिलेंगे।
What you're saying is that you do get the first three sports plus is what you're saying.
Completely.
Now cover, now Team Secret.
RCS region scholar from up north there behind Papa. So basically they took the right decision, I'd say, to actually focus on that instead of Team Secret.
So too, but
do the do moments.
Yes, let's do it. Some early fights here, we saw it straight away, like one. No fear. Look at it, he has no armor. He only got a helmet and he got no HP and he still just kept on going. He never stopped.
I love how they push this. And also fight here in Pina. Argentina fighting TSM Entity. Big shots here from Ernie taking those two guys down. And they actually won.
वहीं रुक जाओ। बंदरगाह पर कश्ती बांधने का 1 रुपया लगता है। और चलो अपना नाम बताओ।
ये रखो तिगने दाम।
And we saw that TSM was down to just Jonathan. Jonathan did a phenomenal job. He got, I think it was only 1 kill.
आपका स्वागत है मिस्टर स्मिथ।
To stay alive for that long, being alone, and manage to get that 1 extra point.
Yeah, but this is the plan, right? And this is why a lot of people want that position. In the circle, how it worked out, it could have gone any other way. The direction it went was the one that wasn't that great for Pina, but any other direction it would have gone would have been good for Pina.
That's why we want to have Pina. The third party potential in that town from both sides of the island is just so it's good to step up. Yes, the third party came in because there were 2 teams there, but RQ managed to have some more great kind of pushes and got a lot of kills in the blue as well, actually. Unfortunately for G9, he got taken down by No Cat's team.
I gotta say though, Secret, they were holding the compound on the west side island by the trifecta where the river meets.
Right.
And they were doing a good job holding that out, but towards the end, I feel like they got pushed towards the bridge, just west of it, and take down Box Gaming. If they did that, they would probably have even better position to play the end game from.
If you win that
fight. They should win.
रुको। यहाँ आम शहरियों को आने की इजाजत नहीं। वो आप चाहता हूँ, मैं ये नहीं जानता था। अगर कोई शहरी देखा तो मैं आपको जरूर बताऊंगा। तुरंत। सुना है आज किले में साहब लोगों का कोई बहुत बड़ा जश्न हो रहा है। अब ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है कि आप जैसे होनहार सिपाहियों को उस जश्न आप जैसे शहरियों को रोकने के लिए हमें यहाँ रुकना पड़ा है। ख्याल तो बहुत, मगर मुझे लगता है कि ये उस बड़े जहाज के सामने इस छोटे जहाज को खड़ा करना अच्छी बात है। डाउनफील्ड जहाज तो समंदर की शान, लेकिन इंटरसेप्टर जहाज का कोई मुकाबला नहीं कर सकता। मैं जानता हूँ ना, ऐसा एक जहाज है जो इससे कहीं ज्यादा अच्छा है। नाम है ब्लैक पर्ल। कोई नहीं टिक सकता इंटरसेप्टर के सामने। ब्लैक पर्ल का असली जहाज नहीं, वो नहीं है। हाँ, तुमने वो जहाज नहीं देखा। मैंने वो जहाज देखा है। तुमने एक जहाज देखा है जिस पर काले पर्दे लहराते हैं, जिस पर पूरा है और जिसका कैप्टन इतना खतरनाक है कि जहन्नुम ने भी उसे बाहर फेंक दिया। पर मैंने काले कपड़ों वाला जहाज जरूर देखा। कोई भी जहाज जिस पर क्रूर आदमी ना हो ना हो कि उसे जहन्नुम ने बाहर फेंक दिया हो, उस जहाज के वैसे काले नहीं हो सकते। और तुम्हारे ख्याल में हर काले पर्दे वाला जहाज ब्लैक पर्ल है? नहीं। जैसा कि मैंने कहा, कोई भी जहाज इंटरसेप्टर के आगे टिक नहीं सकता।
So this is what we see from Archer circles when they have to rotate a lot.
हटो वहाँ से! तुम्हें यहाँ आने की इजाजत नहीं है। मुझे माफ कीजिएगा, कितनी खूबसूरत कश्ती है। मेरा मतलब जहाज है। तुम्हारा स्मिथ ही जो पसंद। क्यों आए हो यहाँ पोर्ट रॉयल में मिस्टर स्मिथ? और हाँ, झूठ मत बोलना। तो ठीक है, सच कहता हूँ। मेरा इरादा है कि ऐसे एक बड़े जहाज को चुराकर अपने कुछ साथियों के साथ टोटुगा में डकैती करके सारा माल लूटूं और अपनी धौंस जमाऊं। मैंने कहा झूठ नहीं। ऐसा लगता है अगर ये सच कह रहा होता तो हमें नहीं बताता, समझे ना? क्योंकि मुझे मालूम है तुम्हें सच सुनने की आदत नहीं है, इसलिए झूठ समझो।
Velmuth and Martin here, they're holding our Bigatron. They know that they're here. They know they have a great position from them, so they're taking 2 power position. I'm just going to use those circles right instead. They're taking those power positions here that are inside the circle and holding our Bigatron, making sure that they're in the stronger position. And this of them super fast here. So it was great to see how they were able to hold this, but take it and keep it for very time. Usually you see other teams that try to run on the rocks and make sure that they get into those spots and contest for that early, but they didn't get contested until these situations here, and they actually won them. You see Velmuth Martin both surviving, the next circle popped, and this is the next one I want to show here. So obviously one of them jumping down the water, but here they are the combo here, and they are 100% Team Secret. I have a few guys over there, and they're in a great spot, but they get together the position through these rocks and stay there.
Elizabeth!
Very long time, so we're not going to play the whole thing.
वहाँ चट्टाने हैं, शुक्र है वो उनसे नहीं टकराई। बचाने जा रहे हो उसे? यहाँ तैरना किसे आता है? लानत ऐसे सिपाहियों पर। सामान लेके भाग मत जाना।
Which I guess that uncertainty causes them to keep problems.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know exactly where the enemies are, but also by using the Molotovs, you can actually.
वो आवाज कैसी थी?
So basically, just check it out.
Let's take a look at some of our head-to-heads as well. Luxy goes up against Bia from RRQ, and we do have Luxy standing head and shoulders above when it comes to the damage of Slip output. But what is it? It comes back to what we were saying before, Froz, is that technically RRQ there to be gained big kill if they start getting
सांस नहीं चल रही है। हटो।
It's 39 each. That means that it's a little bit more efficient.
मेरे दिमाग में ये ख्याल कभी नहीं आता। लड़कियों के बारे में कुछ नहीं जानते।
27 knocks, which means that he's stealing a little kill here and there.
He's stealing more kills than he loses, which
ये कहाँ से मिला?
making you give points away.
खड़े हो जाओ।
Other teams, right? So it's good to see.
overall rankings time here as we know who's at the top already.
तुम ठीक तो हो ना?
मैं ठीक हूँ।
Baldur's Komodo will move up into the top 3 situation as previously mentioned.
खत्म कर दे इसे।
पिताजी, कॉमोडो, क्या आप मुझे बचाने वाले को मारना चाहते हैं?
इस एहसान के लिए हम शुक्रगुजार हैं। बहुत ही अच्छा निशान दिया है तुम्हें ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी ने। समुद्री लुटेरा। लटका दो। इस पर ताने रहो जिलेट, इसे जंजीरें पहनाओ। वाह वाह, तो तुम जैक स्पैरो हो? कप्तान जैक स्पैरो ज्यादा बेहतर है। तुम्हारा जहाज कहीं नहीं दिख रहा। कप्तान उसी का तो इंतजाम कर रहा था। सच कह रहा हूँ। पकड़ लो उसे। बहुत अच्छे मिस्टर ब्राउन, आपने एक खतरनाक लुटेरे को पकड़ने में हमारी मदद की है।
अच्छा शहरी होने का फर्ज निभा रहा था।
हम ये बात हमेशा याद रखेंगे कि आज के दिन कप्तान जैक स्पैरो लगभग हमारे हाथ से बचकर निकल गया था मिस्टर ब्राउन। ले चलो इसे।
आजा, आजा मेरे कुत्ते, आजा। जल्दी आजा कुत्ते, ये ले जा, आजा। जल्दी आजा, जल्दी।
जिंदगी भर उसे हड्डी दिखाते रहोगे फिर भी वो टस से मस नहीं होगा।
जब सामने फांसी का फंदा नजर आए तो तुम भी ऐसा ही करोगे।
आपका बिस्तर तैयार है। आज आपका दिन काफी खराब रहा ना? मुझे शक था कि कॉमोडोर नॉरिंगटन शादी की बात करेंगे, पर सच कहूँ तो मैं इसके लिए बिल्कुल तैयार नहीं थी। मैं तो लुटेरे से धमकाए जाने की बात कर रही थी। आप तो डर गई होंगी ना? हाँ, मैं डर गई थी। पर कॉमोडोर ने शादी की बात की, उस बारे में सोचिए। वैसे आप बुरा न माने तो आप दोनों की जोड़ी खूब जचेगी।
हाँ, हमारी जोड़ी खूब जचेगी। वो बहुत अच्छे आदमी हैं, जिनसे हर लड़की शादी करने के लिए मरती है।
वैसे विल टर्नर बहुत अच्छे आदमी है वो।
कुछ ज्यादा नहीं बोल दिया?
मैं माफी चाहती हूँ, मुझे ऐसा नहीं कहना चाहिए था।
Plane in the background held up by some kind of structure. There's chains coming off it and everything. It's fantastic. So make sure to go in game and check out the Royal Pass as well as that does unfold. We can check a look at the schedule as well as we have that one more game to come. We've had you do, and then we've had Valdez getting themselves the wins here today. Arangel's on the menu next. That's the final course today.
Yes, and we want to see, of course, what's happening with
क्या मेरी बेटी ने तुम्हें कोई जवाब दिया?
नहीं,
वो आज के हादसे से काफी थक गई हो। आज मौसम बहुत खराब है ना?
बहुत खराब और अजीब है।
ये आवाज कैसी थी?
तोप के गोली! ढूंढ डालो दुश्मन को!
ये तो पर्ल जहाज की।
ब्लैक पर्ल। कई किस्से सुने हैं। वो पिछले 10 सालों से दूसरे जहाजों का शिकार करता आ रहा है। उससे कोई नहीं बच पाता।
अगर कोई नहीं बच पाता तो फिर ये कहानी कौन बनाता?
I hope we're not going to keep so many that's going to be on Iran once again. It's going to be back from the south over to the north. Now he's relatively quite insane. Kind of touching and dropping in the George Paul area, and I think they switched over to Yazan initially because the east, but I think they changed back over to George Paul because a lot of teams actually tend to drop on these, right? So there's technically party potential in early parts of the game, whereas in that last first Orango game of the day, it kind of went against them because it was, of course, on the east. Also, I'm surprised that they haven't capitalized on the fact that more aren't here. That means the Milters are open, Milter power, more specifically. So I think there's some teams that don't have position and control. They just play that position, man. More as a whole get into this one. As we get started, to go down south into Ferry Pier, they'll have that location. So no class team, so
spread.
Phase one circle is tricky because even though it occupies, of course, military island, because it's so high up north, that right decide where to position yourself. Of course, the coastline compounds around where gaming really very imperative if you can position yourself around there as GX ourselves looking to create a little bit of a PUBG Mobile pancake, no?
NFT. Unfortunate, they find himself in such a unusual situation right there, and also will be able to make it out, hopefully.
On a side note, just one real quick thing. I see a lot of time people will go for that early kill, but I love the fact that GX ourselves are kind of just going, no, we're playing our own game. If we try and go for that kill, we're wasting time, we're wasting looting situations, and I think that was really clever by GXR.
I mean, they heard the two of the cars off synergy, right? They're like, okay, we don't have to be looted already. They took like the save time quicker option to actually get looted up, which I do like and appreciate. As a T1 P just found himself in a very bad position as always. TSM are going to go try and confirm it. Quick stop. ZZP arrived to destination, and I'll move on to another location. Eminem is scared of this.
Max the poet. He could rhyme as well as okay, so Galaxy Race results, they normally go around window, that's going to be fine for them now. They're actually going for a very early into military base, so they're committing to that area. They do have one player forward. He's the IGL, right? So he's the player to gather information with Sanhok, getting a good result. Can we see Sinner in a random?
I think you just saw Loki of box.
आजा बच्चे आजा 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 शाबाश.
We did see Encore doing a little bit of a scouting, but he is now going to try and join up with the rest of the argument action because teams closer towards the west side bridge where are located.
And Loki will be able to normally get himself into the water if he wants to get back to the safety of the rest of the team, because they could gatekeep Team Secret, they could play Loki to join back to the north side of the riverbank, because he could have a huge impact versus Team Secret.
I like the fact that Trans joined up with Kratos to provide that obviously extra manpower, but even just provide that extra base to just kind of get that.
Jumper is they can easily rotate on the coastline if they want. Yeah. But you know what? It's fine. They like to play the very long game in that first phase before going for rotations. But they're not strong despite that hard game.
मुझे नहीं पता था कि हम किसी को बंदी बनाने वाले।
इसने कायदे के मुताबिक कप्तान से बात करने का हक जताया है।
मैं यहाँ तुम्हारे कप्तान।
तुम्हें बोलने को कहा जाए तभी
और जो बातचीत कर
है उस पर कभी हाथ नहीं उठाया जाता।
Look, at the end of the day, they've been able to provide information, positioning, power, and they will send the rest of the team to join up.
कप्तान बाबू,
thinking of potentially getting close to
मैं
the
वो
bridge, but
नफरत खत्म करने आई हूँ जो आपकी और रॉयल के बीच है।
हम तो सीधे साधे समुद्री लुटेरे हैं। आखिर चाहती क्या हो तुम?
आप यहाँ से चले जाएं और कभी ना आए।
अफसोस तुम्हारी ये बात मेरी कानों तक नहीं पहुंची। मतलब नहीं।
तो फिर इसे फेंक देती हूँ।
That engagement was one of the
मेरे पास बेशकीमती खजाने हैं, ये सोने का सिक्का कोई मायने नहीं रखता।
क्यों? For Off-Dales to get those shots off. He was waiting
इस जहाज को मैं अच्छी तरह से जानती हूँ। 8 एंगल से गुजरते देखा था।
Most likely from no chance on using the
अगर ये
moving
सिक्का
boogie
बेकार है तो इसे
to
रखने का
get
क्या
into a
फायदा है
level
ना?
of safety. Fear. It makes his way forward. He's going to look for high shots. A shot through. High shots just about. Heineken is able to. Okay.
Elizabeth.
Okay.
Turn. मैं गवर्नर के घर.
Like, you know, no chance team. They prove themselves not only in the open. We 2 days in league play. They've had a little bit of a tougher start in the first 4 games, but they have proven aggressive and get.
रानी के पास इतना कीमती गहना आया
I do believe that a lot of people think that No Chance team is like the dark horse, like the entitlement, because nobody was expecting them to really come out with such a dominant performance, especially. So they can be extremely proud of what they've been able to do so far. As Rock's going to cross the Riverside, going straight into Rosok, but that is still not going to be in the vicinity of the circle, but does get them a little bit closer.
Yeah, so just to kind of give you guys a little bit of contextual information, teams still inside the blue zone, outside this phase.
और हमारा सौदा?
TSM, T1, Arndrock, Udo, and Synergy.
साथियों को संकेत दो, गोलाबारी बंद करो।
किनारे तक पहुंचाना ही होगा। कायदे के अनुसार तुम्हें मुझे
पहली बात, हमारे सौदे में तुम्हें वापस पहुंचाने की कोई बात ही नहीं हुई थी, इसलिए मैं उस बारे में कुछ नहीं कहूंगा। दूसरी, ये कायदे लुटेरे लागू होते हैं, जो कि तुम नहीं हो। कायदे बनाए ही इसलिए जाते हैं कि जरूरत के वक्त उन्हें तोड़ा जा सके। स्वागत है तुम्हारा हमारे ब्लैक जहाज पर, मिस टर्नर।
Get around them. We've seen them already be aggressive in the first 4 games, but they're going to really have to prove that aggressiveness in their current location. We do see a good few compounds on the coastal line of that mainland, which could be very important should the circle on the next phase shift down south, because they can just swim across the water.
Also, Team Secret, no. TSM. There you go. As a TS at the start, it could be. But they like to play very on the edge of the circle on the early phase 1/phase 2, and now they're going to be doing that also on.
किराना मत, वो से ले गए लुटे। देखिए, हमें जाकर एलिजाबेथ को बचाना होगा।
उसे ढूंढना कहां शुरू करें? अगर तुम मेरी बच्ची के अपहरण के बारे में कुछ जानते हो, हमें बता दो। जैक स्पैरो, जहाज की
अब उसने तो सिर्फ जिक्र किया था, तो उससे पूछ लीजिए ना, उससे सौदा कीजिए, वो हमें वहां तक ले जाएगा।
नहीं, वो लुटेरे जैक स्पैरो को जेल की बंद कोठरी में छोड़ गए थे, इसलिए वो उसके साथी नहीं हो सकते। गवर्नर, आप फिक्र न करें, हम बहुत ही जल्द।
ये है।
सुनो टर्न, तुम ना और ना ही जहाजी, तुम एक लोहार हो, और ये जल्दबाजी से काम लेने का वक्त नहीं है। और इस गलतफहमी में मत रहना कि यहाँ से तुम्हें,
which is always very valuable for teams, and also a compound that has a high chance of being occupied. I think King of Gamers might have to rethink how they rotate.
Another team kind of doing something like that as TSM. They usually person on the hill outside BT, so got a decent bit of
उसके बारे में सुना तो है, मुझे उस जहाज पर जाना है। तुम्हें उस जहाज पर जाना है? तुमने उसके किस्से नहीं सुने?
के खूंखार साथी
मौत के टापू के रहने, उस टापू पर कोई नहीं पहुंच सकता सिवाय वो जहाज असली है। वो कहीं ना कहीं बता वो जगह कौन सी है।
मुझसे क्यों पूछ रहे हो यार?
क्योंकि तुम इसलिए
क्यों तुम्हें भी लुटेरे बनने का शौक चढ़ गया?
हरगिज़ नहीं।
And that just is not going to be looking good for Orange Rock right now. They even have
वो
the
मिस वॉन को ले गए।
आखिर तुम्हें लड़की मिल ही गई। अब समझा। पर तुम्हारा इरादा वहां जाकर उसे बहादुरी से बचाकर उसका दिल, ये बहादुरी दिखाना फायदा नहीं।
True, but the thing about that engagement by
पर कैसे? चाबी तो कुत्ता ले गया।
They left it far too late.
ये कोठियां मैंने बनाई है। ये लोहा बहुत ज्यादा मजबूत नहीं है।
And two, they only did as a two-man team.
थोड़ी सी तकलीफ और सही ताकत के इस्तेमाल से इस दरवाजे को तोड़ सकते हैं।
Even if they lose it, whereas now Orange Rock, they're out in the they only have 2 players using such of their. Now it's Military island.
ये नाम अपने
Military island.
तुम मुझे यहाँ से बोलो सौदा मंजूर है
My eyes, megastar should
मंजूर है
कोई आना चाहे
चीजें तो ले लूँ यार
हम जहाज चलाने वाले हैं
लाना है दोस्त वो जहाज मगर जाने से पहले एक सवाल इसे बचाने
आखिरी सांस या तो
Scarlet and then push back here in the legal town of TSM entity getting onto a compound eyeball on the side of the bridge. There's still a full squad. They want to try and take control. That 4 bad game to end on the high note as I know they can.
They didn't see one far in the distance, but they have only now half of the circle to actually play around.
भाई लोग गिल्ला डुल्ला पान जहाज हमारे कब्जे में
हाँ वही रुक जाओ
ये जहाज सिर्फ 2 लोगों से नहीं चलेगा बंदरगाह से निकल नहीं पाओगे मेरा नाम कप्तान जैक
Stole the kill and got a knockdown.
Komodo.
Nice play, nice opportunistic moment. Far inside the blue zone, inside the circle. When you look across onto military base, Aldous and IND just lost no chance team.
इसमें कोई शक नहीं कि
going
इतना
to do?
बदतर रुपये
My
मैंने आज
eyes,
तक नहीं
maybe actually go yourself into the water and swim
वो आ गए
the rest of the way.
You know what? It's across.
इंटरसेप्ट पे लौट जाओ जाओ हमें करने का बहुत
हमारी पिछाली
दिशा बदलो।
बाल की रस्सियां काट दी।
The blue zone closing. They team is
into the water. That gives them a little bit more compound right next to like that every single time that they something Neutron's in play. They get it, and that's kicking.
So
बेवकूफ नहीं हो जा
right into the hands of team and RQ.
I like also even though split away from the 3-1 split, he's got the high ground down the south. He's going to give not only pressure on all the teams trying to get himself a nice in the circle. So I think that here the 3-1 split normally not too much for it, but I love it in this specific scenario.
एक अच्छे इज्जतदार और कानून को मानने वाले।
अबे वो एक धोखेबाज लुटेरा था।
मेरे पिताजी कोई लुटेरे नहीं थे, जैक स्पैरो।
दोबारा हारने का इरादा है क्या?
तुमने धोखा दिया था।
Would definitely spell very good things in your world because they do currently find themselves
जिंदगी में सिर्फ दो कायदे मानने
they could get himself in second
आदमी
position
क्या
right
कर
behind you. I
सकता
think that like any
है
game
और
could
क्या
not just
नहीं
catch up to the 3 chicken dinners of you. That's impossible.
तुम ये मान सकते हो कि तुम्हारा बाप एक अच्छा आदमी था या फिर एक लुटेरा था, मगर सच्चाई है।
Now back on over to RRQ Athena. Still it was a 4-man team pushing forward on the eastern side, but they get actually cornered up potentially by Bigatron very soon as they go over the dip. Bigatron could have a huge backstab opportunity on RRQ.
They've kind of given the high ground over to RRQ, and that could actually go against them. I'm a little bit surprised about that because they would have heard the shots by BTR onto King of Gamers earlier, and I'm all for playing for
having BTR down kill, and they could potentially pick them up. It's like of that middle position in the circle, as now also the last member, Rocks or Celts, will go down, and so will the entirety of their team. So that's 6 teams remaining in this game. Megastars trying to make their way through, but no way, Jose. There you have it. Losing a few extra. They still got 2 players, though, in the circle currently, which, no, having that 2-2 split did work out, but Yudu go now in 6th, which is still pretty...
It's a little bit...
It's 100.
It is what it is. At the end of the day, they've gotten the job done in the first 3 games that they kind of, at least in these 5 games, can sit back and relax. But now, down on a dip, the grenade comes through from Microboy onto the knockdown of Swag. Gonna leave Encore on his own, on the side. But I just dropped my pen. That was so clean. They're on 4 kills, but what accuracy.
Micro boy, I mean, when you're downhill like that, grenade, chuck it over, a little bit of a throw, and he's just going to slide his way through to the enemies.
You know what I picture with Micro boy every time he throws a grenade? That beautiful smile on his face.
That beautiful smile. Oh, man. You shouldn't have told me that. Now I'm going to be daydreaming. But, yeah, so already position, and now that's actually come into effect what I was saying earlier, right? The double sword is actually going to be helping out a little bit RRQ Athena, because now Bigatron, they got to go downhill.
Now, they can sweep down. It could be sweep up, but like you mentioned, it's definitely not easy for them. They're going to have to try and fight their way in. Do they have the utility? Do they have the smokes that they've picked up from killing the likes of Megastars, taking down King of Gamers? It's something that I'm sure they'll be looking to use should they have them as Synergy are still inside this game as a 2-man squad. Strider and Ted, Synergy, a team that we've definitely been impressed with throughout the World League so far. Now BTR now sweeping their way across. Gonna go from building to building, but actually avoiding that and going full sender.
Oh, no! Bigatron, I'm so... What was that? I mean, at least they have a car a little bit far forward so they can use that as like a mini compound, but still, that is not Stonks. That is definitely not working out. That was not a great investment. And now Ryzen still looking for an angle. He sees Synergy, that he sees all of those utility, those smokes coming out. Teddy is going to be tumbling down, but he still has to make it even further. He makes to make it on the other side of the road to make it out live. He's getting pushed down. Can he crash into that rock? way and actually falls to his doom.
Yeah, it's going to be the synergy. They made a push, they made a call, but it didn't work out in the end. We're down to the last three teams. RRQ, Team IND and BTR, but the team that's outside the circle as the Blue Zone's making its way in on phase 6 is BTR. They alerted the attention of RRQ the second they started rotating in. They paid the price. They lost 2 members, and now they're pinched up.
Team IND, they activated almighty circle magnets and they got the circle in their favor. Phase 7 might also be the case, but argue if you know one thing for sure, they're gonna have to move away from that position. And they might just get back to that right. Bigger drop in the wrong right now. They're on their tail. They have to move forward with the on. They slow so they can have RQ. They might give them a little protection. They can make actually pretty far.
चलो जिंदगी का पूरा मजा लूटते हैं और पीते हैं
moving its way down. That is
ऐसी लगी जगह
to the members of BTR, but as they did survive in the circle, they are going to get pinched. But
ये भैया जगह एक बात बताऊं प्यारे, अगर दुनिया की हर जगह टोटूगा होती तो कोई भी आदमी अकेला महसूस ना करता.
IND have been gifted the circle, but they've also earned it, getting 13 kills up until this point.
He felt way more in pyramid to this one. To get up to 90, so good to get all of the frags in this lobby, but I like it. Ernie knows to get it all around there earlier, checking a bit of the they're too involved. They want to take this fight head on. They confirm Ryzen. Now down to only one play. That's going to be Lux. He did some great clutch plays, but this time will not be the case. As Bigatron get eliminated in 3rd position, 2 teams now remaining. It will be
You do see the members of IND
बुरे को अच्छे में बदलना मुझे खूबी आता है. ये जगाने वाला आदमी मैच में खुद सोने वाले आदमी को बढ़िया जाम पिलाए और सोने वाला आदमी वो बढ़िया सा जाम पीकर जगाने वाले की रोज ना सुनेगा.
Should they find a target? But when you look at eyes, when you look at positioning, Team IND kind of have the advantage.
One issue I'm having right now is the fact that they had so many smokes they popped earlier in the fight.
बदबू दूर करने के लिए था.
Entry maturely for RRQ Athena. If they still have a few though, they have to pop it up right now.
That's why you mentioned earlier on that RRQ were kind of using to their advantage, but of course they got pushed on by RRQ, and then RRQ have overtaken that spot. The side of the hill did favor Team IND a little bit, but it's also helping RRQ to a little bit of a stave off. The circle on the phase 7 is shifting down south. Trance is outside the circle, but the other 3 members are in.
I love RRQ. They've got 2-2 split coming out. Keep it 2 players on the high ground, 2 players on the low ground to make sure that they're not going to get wrapped around and give the high ground over to Team IND. It makes a lot of sense. It's very smart. And Team IND now they know that they can't push in. Trance was the one that was trying to pull off the rotation. Now you had to go back to the rest of the team. They want to take it as a 4-man squad.
मैं जहाँ तक कप्तान बारबोजा को जानता हूँ वो तुम जैसे बेवकूफों से कोई सौदा नहीं करेगा. जैक स्पैरो
बेवकूफ नहीं हूँ इसीलिए तो उससे सौदा करने जा रहा हूँ.
तुमने ये कैसे सोच लिया कि बारबोजा अपना जहाज तुम्हारे हवाले कर देगा?
सोच लो कि उसकी कोई कमजोरी मेरे पास है. ये लड़का बूटस्ट्रैप बिल टर्नर का बेटा है. उसकी इकलौती औलाद. समझे?
वो जानता है क्या कमजोरी ढूंढी है. हवा का रुख कुछ बदला हुआ लग रहा है. मैं लोगों को ढूंढता हूँ. यहाँ तुम जैसे कुछ सरफिरे जहाज तो मिल ही जाएंगे.
मैं जानता था तुम करोगे. जो मिले हत्या लो.
पीछे कुछ भी छोड़ना मत.
कप्तान तुम्हारे साथ खाना खाए और वो चाहते हैं कि तुम ये पहनो.
जाकर अपने कप्तान से कहो कि उन्होंने जो कहा वो मेरे कानों तक नहीं पहुंचा.
उन्होंने कहा था कि तुम यही कहोगी और ये भी कहा था कि अगर ऐसा हुआ तो तुम हमारे साथ खाना खाओगी, वो भी बिना कपड़ों के. जल्दी आना.
यहाँ तौर तरीके दिखाने या तमीज से पेश आने की जरूरत नहीं है. जैसे खाना चाहो खा सकती हो. कर देखो। और ये सेब बहुत लजीज है।
इसमें जहर है।
तुम्हारी जान लेने का कोई मतलब नहीं मिस्टर।
तो छोड़ दो ना मुझे, तुम्हें वो लॉकेट मिल गया, मैं तुम्हारे किसी काम की नहीं हूँ।
तुम्हें जरा भी अंदाजा नहीं कि ये क्या है क्या?
लुटेरो का सिक्का है।
ये एस्टेक का सोना है। ये 882 एक जैसे बेहतरीन टुकड़े हैं जो कॉर्टेस को सोने के बक्से में दिए गए थे। बक्सा भरकर एस्टेक के लोगों पर कत्लेआम रोकने के लिए उसे ये पैसा दिया गया था, पर कॉर्टेस की भूख मिटाना नामुमकिन था। उसकी इस हरकत से ऊपर वाले ने उस सोने पर
all day chasing circles, chasing positions, and now they get a little bit of luck and they get a good position that they're able to stay off with and get a lot of kills from that.
I wouldn't say it was luck though, because we saw the circle actually bouncing north, south, north, south. No one knew where it was gonna go. And once we saw that it was confirmed it was gonna go towards Millie Island, no one was there. But one team took advantage of that, and it was RRQ Athena. They were on the north side, but they straight away swam across to Millie Island, and because of that, they got themselves a center position to play from.
The fact that they swam across and were still over there before all the other teams tried to rotate through via the bridges is testament to how quickly they were able to make that reaction. But let's check in with the points coming in for them, as RRQ Athena will be topping the leaderboard here with 33 points. However, Team IND was doing a bit of bridge shenaniganry throughout a lot of this Avenger and got themselves a few kills.
I'll read you up the names that were trying to go through the West Bridge.
Yes.
Now, IND, of course, they were on Millie's side already, and they were holding down the bridge. And then you had these teams trying to go through the West Bridge. NCT, Valdez, Reject Scarlet, TSM Entity, and T1. Basically, half of the teams wanted to go there, but, you know, IND, they stood tall there.
They dismantled them.
Dismantled them. Very, very impressive stuff. Here's our 9th through 16th as well, as we have not many points coming in because it was so top heavy, especially for those top two teams. They were soaking it all up.
I want to say though that it's kind of a testament to them being able to get 4 guys alive after fighting on a bridge in the blue, getting into that position and getting a second place from this. Yes, they could have won. They did have a decent position with some cars. Getting that many kills and getting that good of a placement is super impressive, honestly.
I mean,
I was gonna say a little bit before, I was a little sad that they didn't take the win, but on the other side, it was RRQ, and I'm super happy for RRQ to step up and get this victory.
Let's take a look at the numbers coming in for RRQ Athena, because it feels like all the pieces have kind of fit together throughout the day, right? Yes. They've been able to put up big numbers, even when they haven't got the highest placement. They were still putting up big damage numbers, and when a team is playing like that, Froz, it's just a matter of time before they get decent circles, decent opportunity to
एक भयानक शाप डाल दिया। कोई भी इंसान इस बक्से से अगर एक भी सिक्का निकालता तो उसे दुनिया
वैसे मैं भूतों की कहानियों पे यकीन नहीं करती कप्तान बारबोसा।
हाँ, पहली बार कहानी सुनी थी तो मैंने भी यही सोचा था। उस मौत के टापू पर अब इस सोने को सिर्फ वही ढूंढ सकता है जो उसके बारे में जानता हो। फिर हमने वो ढूंढ सामने था और उसमें ढेर सोना। हमने वो सारा लूट लिया और हमने वो सारा पैसा बेवकूफों की मौज मस्ती, खाने पीने और हम खर्च करते गए उतना ही हम प्यास बुझती मुंह खाने वाला रहा। बन जाता था और दुनिया भर राशि भी हमारी हवस को नहीं मिटा सकी। जानती हो हम सब शब्द हम भूख के हाथों मजबूर थे, लेकिन उसने अब हमें वो सारे बिखरे हुए सिक्कों को हमें वापस बटोरना होगा। चढ़ाना हमें आखिरी सिक्का
अब मेरी बलि चढ़ाओगे?
इस वक्त तुम्हें मारने का कोई फायदा नहीं, फिलहाल के
Molotov, so I was sad to see them not maybe try to make a smoke play with to try to sweep them or because
एक बात बताओ, मुझे मारने के बाद तुम क्या करने वाली थी? चांदनी हमें हम पूरी तरह से जिंदा नहीं है, इसलिए हम मर सकते और ना ही हम मरे हुए हैं, लेकिन अपनी प्यास बुझा नहीं सकता। कई सालों से मौत का भूखा हो लेकिन मर नहीं सकता। कुछ ठंडी फुहारें और ना ही हवा का झोंका और ना ही किसी मोहब्बत की दुल्हन की धुन। तुम भूत का भी यकीन करना शुरू कर दो मिस्टर टर्नर, अब भी उनका हिस्सा हो। क्या देख रहे हो मेरे मुंह की तरफ? जाओ उठाकर अपना काम। इन जाबाजों को गौर से देखो कप्तान, ये सब तुम्हारे वफादार साथी होंगे। हर आदमी की अपनी एक काबिलियत है और काम में ये पागल है।
तो ये हैं जैक स्पैरो के काबिल साथी।
कौन है ये?
नाम कॉटन है सर।
कॉटन, क्या तुम में इतना दम है कि तुम मुसीबत और खतरे के वक्त कप्तान का वफादारी से साथ दोगे? कॉटन, जवाब।
Right now, there is one vehicle right there, but there's also smoke down there. So basically, they have the smoke and the vehicle supply. This is something we're gonna talk about. That's why I'm gonna show it. Do it.
इस शख्स कितने जहाजियों को मिला है ये सोचकर दिल दहल उठता है।
Synergy up here. That is the reason why they're forced to play with the vehicle and
आखिर जैक को मिला कहाँ से है कंपास?
एक अरसे बाद जैक टाटू का शहर आया, वो भी मौत के टापू का खजाना उड़ाने। इसलिए कंपास के बारे में मुझे कुछ नहीं मालूम, क्योंकि जब मैं उससे पहले मिला था तब वो कप्तान था ब्लैक पर्ल का। 3 दिन के सफर के बाद उसका पहला साथी आकर कहता है कि सबको बराबर हिस्सा मिलेगा, जिसमें खजाने का ठिकाना भी शामिल था। तो जैक ने पूरी जानकारी दे दी। उस रात वहाँ बगावत हुई। उन्होंने जैक को एक टापू पर मरने के लिए छोड़ दिया। गर्मी के मारे वो वहाँ पागल हो रहा था।
तो यही वजह है कि वो
वजह का इससे कोई लेना देना नहीं है। जानते हो विल, जब लुटेरे को जहाज से निकाला जाता है तो उसे एक बंदूक और एक गोली दी जाती है, सिर्फ एक गोली। वो एक गोली से आप शिकार कर सकते हो या खुद की हिफाजत। आपको खाना पीना नहीं मिलता है तो वही बंदूक और वही गोली खुदकुशी करने के काम आती है। और जैक वहाँ से बच निकला और आज भी उसके पास वो गोली है, पर वो उसे चलाएगा नहीं। वो उसने बचा कर रखी है अपने उस धोखेबाज साथी के लिए।
बाबू जैक टापू से निकला कैसे?
मैं तुम्हें बताता हूँ। वो 3 दिन और 3 रात तक किसी तरह टापू पर इंतजार करता रहा।
तो क्या ये उसने अकेले नहीं किया?
हाँ, उसने अकेले नहीं किया।
और ने बांधने के लिए क्या इस्तेमाल किया?
इंसानी बात मेरी पीठ की। लंगा डालो नीचे। टर्नर साहब और मैं किनारे से होकर आएंगे।
कप्तान, कुछ गड़बड़ हो जाए तो क्या करूं?
तुम जानते हो क्या करना है।
हाँ, जानता हूं।
चलो, 10 साल से हमने सुना शाप से आजाद होकर हम अमीर हो जाएंगे। फिर तुम एक अच्छी सी आंख लगाकर अपनी बीवी को आंख मार सकते हो।
शादी के पहले दिन रात आंख मारी थी, इसीलिए ये हालत है।
आप उसे मत छेड़ो।
क्या कायदा निभाना है?
तो उसे पीछे छोड़ो।
कोई वफादारी नहीं है तुम चोरों में।
खुद आधे लुटेरे बन चुके हो, फिर भी लुटेरों को ओछी नजर से देखते हो।
वो कैसे?
जेल से कैदी को भगाना, जहाज चुराने में मदद करना, लुटेरों के दल में टोटूका से यहाँ तक आना, खाने को देखकर चकाचौंध हो जाना।
ये सच नहीं है। मुझे खजाने की कोई परवाह नहीं है।
सिर्फ सोना और चांदी खजाना नहीं होता मेरे दोस्त।
साथियों, वो वक्त आ गया है। हमारा मोक्ष करीब है। हमारी तकलीफें खत्म होने वाली है। 10 साल तक हमें आजमाया गया और तुम में से हर एक आदमी उस आजमाइश में पूरा खरा उतरा है। और आज भी हम कामयाब होंगे।
हमने बहुत पापड़ बेले हैं।
बलि चढ़ गए इस सजा की वजह से हम सब लोग, लेकिन सजा हमारे गुनाह से कहीं बड़ी थी। ये रहा वो बक्सा जिसमें गॉडेस का शापित खजाना है। साथियों, खुशियां मनाओ, अब हमें शाप से मुक्ति मिलने वाली है।
और वो कब आएगा? जब वो तुम्हारे लिए ज्यादा फायदेमंद होगा। हाँ,
मैं तुमसे एक बात पूछूं?
मैंने तुम्हें कोई वजह दिया मुझ पर शक करने की?
एक ऐसा हालांकि जानता हूं मुश्किल है, पर मेहरबानी करके यही रहना और कोई बेवकूफी मत करना यार, समझे?
हम में से किसने ऊपर वाले को अपने खून की बलि चढ़ाई और अब किसके खून की बलि चढ़नी बाकी है? जानते हो शाप से मुक्त होने के बाद मैं सबसे पहले क्या करने वाला हूँ? सारे सेब खाने वाला हूँ। से खून ही खत्म करेगा।
माफ करना, मेरा फायदा नहीं उठा सकते।
बस इतना ही।
बस इतना ही चाहिए।
शाप खत्म हुआ? मुझे कुछ नहीं हुआ।
हमें मालूम कैसे पड़ेगा?
तुम मरे नहीं?
नहीं। मुझे क्यों गोली मारी?
शाप खत्म नहीं हुआ, हम अभी भी शापित हैं।
तुम बचोगी नहीं। तुम्हारे पिता का क्या नाम था? क्या तुम्हारा पिता बिल टर्नर था?
नहीं।
वो बच्चा कहाँ है? वो बच्चा कहाँ है जो 8 साल पहले इंग्लैंड से निकला था, जिसकी रगों में बिल टर्नर का खून दौड़ता है? कहाँ है? तुम दोनों, तुम यहाँ गलत टर्नर को ले आए।
नहीं, उसके पास वो सिक्का था और उसकी उम्र भी सही थी।
उसने अपना नाम टर्नर बताया था और मुझे लगा वो झूठ बोल रही है। तुम बेकार में हमें यहाँ क्यों लाए?
मैं तुम जैसे वाहियात लुटेरों के सवालों को जवाब देना जरूरी नहीं समझता।
सही तो कह रहा है वो। तुम्हारे हर फैसले ने हमारी बदतर हालत कर दी है।
बिल को मौत की घाट उतारा था
और इस जगह पर तुम ही सबसे पहले हमें लाए थे। अगर कोई कायर यहाँ मुझे चुनौती देने की हिम्मत रखता है तो सामने आए।
मैं कहता हूँ काटो उसका गला, बहा दो उस कबूतरी का खून, शायद कुछ हो जाए।
वो सिक्का वो ले गई। जाओ पढ़ो से और किसी भी कीमत पर वो सिक्का उससे हासिल करो।
यहाँ पतवार नहीं है। आखिर पतवार है कहाँ? हाँ?
पतवार गायब है। ढूंढो ने।
क्या तुम अभी तक मरे नहीं?
क्या बात कर रहे हैं यार? बदले अब बंगल भी दाल दाल बातचीत वही तो